Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I am doing a tour of Aqua Revue, probably one of the nicest planted aquarium stores here in Japan, and it's an ADA shop, so they sell a lot of ADA products and it's really beautiful. So today this is the 2021 tour of Aqua Revue. Let's go and take a look. Alright, so today I'm going to start the tour outside and I'm gonna try to go through everything as detailed as possible, so this might be a little bit of a long tour, but I hope you guys enjoy this video and I don't want to miss out on anything. So let's start off with the driftwood. So you've got a huge selection of driftwood material here, from these like skinny branch wood, and then you've got the red moor wood, which is quite a popular wood for aquascapers, and here you've got hornwood, also known as ironwood. But yeah, hornwood is one of the woods that ADA provides. Really nice looking driftwood here. And then you've got mixed assorted driftwood over here. And then there's a used tank for sale right now. It's a whole set. So you've got the tank, the stand, and the light stand, and it also comes with some lights, and I think it might be sold. Over on the other side you've got a whole bunch of rocks, so a great rock selection here. You've got the Ryuo stone, also known as Seiryu stones, really nice color and texture to them. Over here you've got Sansui stone. This is kind of a lava rock, but it's got some cool shapes and yeah, really nice, kind of like a block stone, but it looks really good in classic aquascapes. Over here, Manten stone, one of my favorite rocks ever. They're beautiful, the colors. There's a little bit of a purplish tint to them, but yeah, kind of hard to find the good ones nowadays. So yeah, first come, first serve. And then over here you've got a special type of rock. This is called AR lava, and I actually put the name onto this rock. I named this rock, and this is a rock that the owner of this store, Aqua Revue, the owner, he came up with this rock. He kind of invented it. It's an artificial lava rock made from clay or something like that, and yeah, it crumbles a little bit, but it has a really cool natural texture to it and many different sizes and shapes, so really nice. And then behind that you've got Yamaya stone. So I'm not sure what this stone really is, but it's yeah, it's a stone. And then over here you've got a little simulation tank, so you can build a scape here for 60 centimeter tanks. For 90 centimeter tanks you have this wooden block right here, so we'll take off all the rocks and then you can scape it off the way you want. If you have a bigger tank and you want to do a simulation, you can kind of do it on the ground here. But yeah, that's basically what this tank is here for. Over here we've got Unzan stones. So this is another ADA rock. It's a natural lava rock, but they've created some holes in them so that you can place little Wabi-kusa plants, or you can put soil and plant your own plants. But it's a really nice looking rock. They've got different sizes too, so these ones are smaller ones, so you can see here, size comparison, small one, medium size, and then they have even bigger ones. But the bigger ones, this is kind of a large one right here. There's bigger ones inside, I'll show you guys later. But yeah, and then over here you've got Oko stones, also known as dragon stones, and it's a nice orange color rock. Down below you've just got some regular lava stones. And then over here, the popular little pond with goldfish and some rice fish. If I won't scare them away, you can see some rice fish right there. And the goldfish are all at the bottom right now. You can see a glimpse of them, but it's because it's cold, so they'll go down to the bottom. There's no filter on this tank, no heater, nothing, just plants. And yeah, water changes maybe once a week, but the fish are totally fine in there. They've been in there for years, so that's really amazing. I really love this, and I'd like to do this in the future someday. An interesting thing that the store does, and something I think is really great, is that when it rains, like how it was earlier today, they will cover the driftwood and rocks up with a plastic sheet so that the driftwood and rocks don't get wet and damaged and weathered on. It won't get damaged from the rain, but just to keep it dry so that customers can look at them, they will cover it up, which I think is really great. And fun fact, everything that's out here what you see right now, at the end of the day, goes back in the store. And the store is quite compact and really tiny. So now let's go and take a look inside. And of course, I forgot to show you this over here, but there's more smaller driftwood, maybe good for nano tanks or some detailed pieces. And yeah, over there you've got some plants growing in little pots. Alright, now I think it's time to take a look inside, so let's go and head inside. So the first tank you see is this right here. This is a 90 centimeter tall ADA aquarium. Well, all the display tanks are ADA, so I won't say that anymore, but this is a 90 centimeter tall tank, beautifully planted, and it's been running for quite a while now, almost a year, and the plants are getting a little bit tired, as you can see here, the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀, but it's still looking really good. The shape is there, and you can see plants growing on the surface of the water. You've got some small little 𝗂𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀 coming out and some flowers. Check that out. And the driftwood here is Redmoor driftwood, also known as the ADA branchwood. And you can see the CO2 is running right here. You've got the ADA beetle counter, and this is the special beetle counter because it's a 20th anniversary beetle counter. And I really want this, but unfortunately they don't sell it anymore. And you've got two ADA solar RGB lights on this tank. It's a pretty deep tank. I'll put the dimensions below, but yeah, it's really nice. And the nice thing about this store is they let you take pictures and videos. So they want the customers to post on social media just to spread the aquascaping hobby. Over here you've got a tiny little tank. This is a 36 centimeter tank, you can see compared to my hand, but it's a very simple setup. No hardscape material in this tank. You've just got a carpet of Monte Carlo, some, what is that? Is that pearlweed? I'm not so sure. Or green rotala? I think it's pearlweed. And then you've got Rotala Fuken. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, it's a beautiful looking rotala. And this light is the Dua RGB Soul. You've also got the air sweeper on this tank. If you don't know what this is, I don't think many people know what this is, but it's like an air refreshener. So at night, all of these tanks have aeration going on. So in the daytime when the lights are on, the CO2 is running, as you can see right there. But once the light goes off, the timer kicks in and it turns on the air stone. So you can see in the back here there's an air stone. And this air sweeper, it's only hooked up on this tank, but there's a smell, a scent in here, and it gives off a good smell. That's basically it. Really, really simple. Now let's take a look at the tank beside that. This right here, this is a 4-foot high type tank. This is the back view. The front view, you have to be outside to see it, but right now it's hard to see because of all the reflections. So I'll put a picture up of what it looks like from the front, but you can see the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀 is crazy in this tank. And then next to that, you've got 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀, the needle leaf 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀, beautiful. It just got trimmed. A lot of these tanks just got trimmed a few days ago, so I'm sorry about that. Here you've got 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝘀𝑀 feather duster. I think these two plants next to each other look so good because it's like kind of a dark green color with a dark red color. It looks amazing. And then you've got 𝗀𝘀𝑚 calamistratum, which also just got trimmed. Kind of sad, but that's how it is around here. And this tank is running the Max Light, a light from Hong Kong. I think it was a gift to the shop to kind of try them out. And take a look at this 𝗂𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 growing out of the water. This is alive, so that's really cool. And the fish in here, they're all towards the front, but it's a good school of Congo tetras in this tank. And taking a look at the tank next to that is a 90 centimeter regular tank. So earlier we saw this one. This is a 90 centimeter high type tank, so you can see it's pretty high. But this one is the standard size. So yeah, classic iwagumi still doesn't have fish inside because it's a pretty new setup. You can see just one solar RGB light on this tank, and it does the job really well. You've got a carpet of glossostigma. You can still see some patches that are empty. As I just mentioned, this is a pretty new scape, so you'll see patches here and there. But yeah, you've got hair grass in the background, mixed in with some dwarf hair grass. You've got 𝗲𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 in the midground. Some moss, look at that. Physidans. And then you've got hair grass as well in the foreground, just to give it a little bit more detail. And the rocks in here, I think, are beautiful. My favorite rocks, Manton stones. Take a look. The lines in the rocks just give it so much character. It's my favorite rock in the world, and I really, really want this. What do you guys think? Man, so cool. Can't wait to see the fish in this tank. I wonder what the owner's gonna put in here. Down here, you've got this, a little bowl with just some philodendron, SP Papua New Guinea. And yeah, in Japanese we call this plant 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, but it's looking really nice. I wonder if there's any fish in here. I don't think there is, but you can see a filter running just to keep the water moving. Yeah, very simple. And here's another one of those big Unzan stones, just on display, also for sale. Alright, now let's go up. Shall we take a look at this wall first? Alright, so up here you've got some plants, terrestrial plants, good for paludariums and terrariums. I don't know the names of any of them, but maybe that'll interest some of you. Down below you've got a bunch of aquatic plants for sale, as well as cherry barbs. So you've got Java ferns, some 𝗲𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, some of the trimmings from that tank. So yeah, you can see right there. You've got Java fern windelov, Java fern trident, 𝗶𝘃𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, different types of mosses. This is weeping moss, one of my favorites. I think I'll be using this for my next aquascape. And you've got Riccardia. This moss is really cool. At first it doesn't even look like a moss, and when you touch it, it might surprise you because it's kind of hard. It's got a hard, rough texture, and I find it really interesting. I would love to use this someday. Over here you've got some 𝗂𝘂𝘂𝘀𝘂𝘀𝘀 species, looking really nice. Look at the cherry barb and the Amano shrimp right there, but yeah. And then you've got some Laganandra here. I'm not sure if that's for sale though. You might have to ask if you can buy that, but yep, a few more plants there. So that's basically this tank. Down below you've got a bunch of plants, bulbitis and stem plants, and I think there's also some German blue rams in this tank which you can buy, but I'm not sure about the plants. Now let's take a look over on this side. On this little rack right here, you've got some terrariums and some orchids. So 88 orchids right there for sale. Down here, these terrariums, I actually escaped them, so pretty interesting. There were more here, but they sold. I think there were like 4 more, but we sold them. And here's one that I escaped. You can see there's Ultracularia, graminifolia, UG. You've got Cryptocorin lucens. The moss is a little bit brown in this, so we might have to do some maintenance on that, but you can see the Alternanthera reynicki in the back, and the 𝗲𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 as the background plants. It is a small tank, so you can see that. And this one right here, I used dragon stones, and you can see the background plant is 𝗀𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, is that how you say it? But yeah, this one needs some maintenance. The hair grass is not doing too well, so we might have to maintain that a bit. Okay, now let's take a look over here. 60-centimeter tank that was set up just a while back. You can see the plants still haven't reached the surface of the water. The plants in this tank, I'll go from the foreground. You've got dwarf hair grass. It's taking a while to carpet out, but there's Anubias nana petite in the midground, as well as Java fern Microsorum trident. Over here, this greenish pinkish plant is 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀 green. There's 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 tripartita. And then this, I'm not sure what the name of this in English is, so I'll put it on the screen. And then over there you've got 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀 Vietnam, 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀 Bangladesh, and 𝗯𝘂𝘀 rotundifolia green. Oh yeah, and you've got this right here, Hygrophila araguaia sharp leaf. Yeah, but I really love this tank. I like the colors of the 𝗯𝘂𝘀 Vietnam, and seeing the 𝗯𝘂𝘀 Vietnam in this tank made me want to use it for my own scape. Here you've got some jungle plants by Aqua Nano. So this is good for terrariums and paludariums. Over here, this is a pretty popular tank because it's very simple and there's actually no soil being used in this tank. It's just sand and the Unzan stones that I showed you earlier, and cherry barbs as the fish. And the plants in here, as you can see, Anubias nana petite. This is like 5 years of growth in this tank. And 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀. Look at how red it is. That is beautiful. Yeah, and then over here you've got some pearlweed pearlgrass, I'm not sure, as well as Micranthemum Monte Carlo. You can see it kind of drooping down. One thing that's really cool about this tank is that the cherry barbs have had babies multiple times in this tank, so if you create the right environment, the fish will reproduce, and I think that's really interesting. Some mosses, and here's the moss bag. This is a pretty popular ADA product, the willow moss. And in this bag there's actually quite a good amount of moss, so yeah. Here you've got a small little tiny tank, 30 centimeters. Look at it compared to the size of my hand. But yeah, it's really well balanced. You can see a few shrimp, a mono shrimp in there. There's a Monte Carlo carpet. Yeah, the plants, Ludwigia. I don't know like every single name of each plant, but you've got the poppy glass lily pipe on this tank, and a little CO2 canister injecting CO2. Alright, we'll take a look on this side. So this is what this side of the store looks like. Here you've got the Dua Neo Glass Air with the Terra base. I won't go through each one because it'll take way too long, but here's one of these little terrariums, for example. Really cute. Something you can have at your office desk. I love this one with a little cow inside. Look at that. And moss like this is really easy to take care of. You just mist them down once a day or once every week even if you have a lid on there. And they grow really slow, so it's easy maintenance. This is a little terrarium. In Japanese, it's like the opposite way around. They call terrariums paludariums, and paludariums are terrariums. Kind of confusing, but yeah, so in Japanese we would call this a paludarium, but as I think most of you would call it, a terrarium, because there's no water in there. Now let's take a look down below. We've got a section for Wabi-kusa plants. So if you guys don't know, this is what Wabi-kusa is. It's just a little ball of peat moss, I think, and plants are attached onto it. So you can have mixed varieties. You can have little ones like this, which is Monte Carlo. So you can grow this submerged or immersed. Right now they are in the immersed form. Look at this, the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 verticillata. This is really cute. So you would place this inside your aquarium or even a terrarium if you wanted to, and it can grow either submerged or immersed. Look at this. This is 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 red, 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 green. Really nice looking plant, and there's so many varieties. So something like this, you can see it's like a ball, right? A little circle. So you would place this inside the holes of the Unzan stone. If this was the stone you had, you can see right here, there's this little opening. So that's where you would place one of those Wabi-kusas. So that is that right there. And I love how they have a huge variety. Over here you've got some fish. We'll take a quick look. Up here, there's not that many, not a huge selection, but here you've got some Tucano tetras. A really beautiful tetra, quite pricey though. Here you've got green neons. Very popular fish. I see this get sold every single week. Here you've got the black neon tetra, another beautiful one. And tetras, they do really well in a big school. So over here you've got the purple rasboras. Right now they're really small, but these are the same fish that are in this tank right here. We'll take a closer look at this tank in a while, but you can see if you create the right environment, giving good lights, the fish will really color up and they'll look beautiful. Right now in this tank, you can see they're really small and yeah, not as colorful. Here you've got ember tetras, really beautiful fish. Very popular too. Down below, you've got a few different types. Cardinal tetras and rummy nose tetras, two of the most popular schooling fish in this tank. And then there's also diamond tetras. Are there? Oh yeah, there's a diamond tetra right there. Yeah, not that many in here though. And then there's also some Amano shrimp. So Amano shrimp is another popular shrimp. It's the only shrimp, unfortunately, that's sold in this store. You can see a group of them right there. Over here you've got a 45 centimeter cube tank with some furcata swimming. Look at how beautiful these furcatas look. But yeah, this tank is no longer in production by ADA, so this display might be taken down in the future. Now let's take a look over there, or should we look here? Here you've got sand, soil, aqua soil, Amazonia. And here you've got some more ADA products. Now let's take a look at this tank over here. This is a 60 centimeter high type aquarium. So over here, this is a 60 centimeter regular aquarium. It's the same one I've got in my mini studio. And this is a 60 centimeter tall aquarium. So look at this. The purple rasboras look really, really nice. And look at the driftwood. I love how the driftwood just sticks out. The red plants in this tank, you've got Rotella HRA and Ludwigia Super Red. Look how red that is. That is crazy. When you buy them in the pot like this, they're all green in color, but if you give them the right conditions, they will turn vibrant and red. And then the green plants in here, you've got Rotella Unzan with a very thin and fine leaves. I really like that plant. You've got Vallisneria nana in this tank as well, but it's been trimmed to be kept short. Laganandra miboldi red, some Anubias nana petite, as well as Bucephalandra kedagang. And then you've got the AR lava that I showed you in the beginning of this video in this tank. And look at how the Monte Carlo is growing on top of it. That looks so cool. But yeah, so that is this tank right here. Over here you've got a huge fridge. It's been upgraded. The previous fridge was like this tall, and now it's like doubled in size, so more plants can be kept. These are the tissue culture ADA plants, and there's a huge variety. So foreground plants are at the top, then you've got like mid-ground, background plants, stem plants. Down below you've got a bunch of crypts and hygrophillas. So that is this fridge right here, and every time I come here I love to take a look and see all the different types of plants that are in here. It's just really interesting to me. And if we take a look over here, this is the biggest tank in the store. It's a 6-foot 180 centimeter tank, and it is just really beautiful. Look at the fish. Those are diamond tetras. There's a wide variety of fish in this tank. You can see there's also some rummy-nosed tetras, there's rainbow fish, there's red phantoms. Check out that guy right there. That red phantom looks amazing. And look at this guy, he's in the corner, but this Boesemani rainbow fish, it's just incredible, those colors. But yeah, and the plants, you can see that 𝗀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀 green. And there's Anubias. Check this out, this is bulbitis that's grown out of the water over the last few years. Really cool. And the plants in here, check out the fern right there. Microsorum narrowleaf. And then beside that, you've got Microsorum trident. Quite similar looking, but they are different and unique in their own ways. Over here, you've got some stem plants, a mix of them. Ludwigias and Rotalas, and some Bacopas. And then, of course, you've got the CO2 running on this tank. And I think there's also a beetle counter right here. Yeah, so that is this 6-foot tank. It's got 3 solar RGB lights hanging from the ceiling. And check out this fish right here. Don't want to miss that Buenos Aires tetra. Yeah, and sorry about the reflections, but there's a lot of lights in this fish store, so I apologize there. Right here you've got a beautiful paludarium. So again, in Japanese we would call this terrarium, but to us I think we all call it a paludarium. The plants in here, really nice. You can see hydrocotyle growing, and it's growing up into this section right here. Different varieties of Anubias in here. You can see this one with the huge leaves. Looks really cool. And then some Amano shrimps in here. There's no fish in here right now, but yeah, the Amano shrimp, a couple of them in here. They've got a lot of hiding spots. So yeah, that is this, and it's running on a small little canister filter. So the filter pumps water into this chamber right here, and there's a mist maker inside there. I'm not so sure what you call it, but yeah, it produces this mist, and yeah, you've got this beautiful setup. Let's take a look on this wall over here. Here you've got a huge selection of ADA products, and we'll take a look at some of them, but you've got your maintenance tools, a wide variety of scissors, you've got the algae scrapers, pin sets, a bunch of sizes for you to choose. So I love that they have a wide selection. And then here you've got some aqua conditioners, fertilizers for your plants, and yeah, CO2 canisters for mini tanks like this right here. This is a small little tank. You can see some rice fish in here, Japanese rice fish, and these are some of the ones I brought from my mini pond. So for this tank right here, right now there's not that many fish, and the plants have been trimmed really short, but yeah. So that is this section. A few lily pipes up at the top, and up at the very top you've got some canister filters as well as Dua tanks, small mini aquariums. On this side you've got the Dua products. So Dua is one of ADA's brands. It used to be called Du Aqua, but they changed the name to Dua, and it's focused more towards paludariums and terrariums, but they can still be used in aquariums, like some of the pipes you see here, the poppy glass pipe, and yeah, you've also got Dua CO2 diffusers. So that is Dua. You've got a few products. Well, not a few, but like almost all of Dua's products, because this store carries almost every single one of ADA's item. So an ADA fanatic would definitely love this store, because a regular fish store, I don't think they'd have this many ADA products. Over here, you've got a regular 60 centimeter aquarium. Look at the cabinet. This cabinet is so cool. This is one of ADA's new products, but yeah, really cool looking. This tank was actually scaped by 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, and I did a tour of his tank last year, and I'll put the links to that in the description below. But it's a really beautiful tank, and the plants actually in this tank were selected by the people who were at the workshop, so everyone got to select their own plants, so that was kind of fun. So yeah, really interesting layout here using 𝗬𝘂𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 stones. You can see sand in the foreground, and the plants in here really nice. Look at this, 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 UK attached to the rocks, and a bunch of simple stem plants. You've got 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀, needleleaf, 𝗲𝘂𝘾𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀, which is that red plant, really beautiful. And then you've got a bunch of this pearl grass and some 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 mixed in. And then in the back over there you've got some Limnophila sessiliflora, and I think it's a really nice looking tank. And this CO2 diffuser is one of the 𝗂𝘂 CO2 diffusers. Alright, so that is the 60 centimeter tank. This is a 30 centimeter cube, by the way, if you guys were wondering, with a little rice fish. And yeah, you've got the Balance of Nature poster. I need to get one of those. That's a beautiful poster. And then you've got a nice television there, displaying tanks at the ADA gallery. Underneath the TV monitor, you've got this section with a few smaller tanks. Let's take a look at this one here. So this is a 𝗂𝘂 paludarium, and it's a 30 centimeter paludarium. Really nice. Love the plants in here. Another one, kind of like that one that we took a look at over there. That one's 60 centimeters. This one here is 30 centimeters, and it looks beautiful. So natural. I love this. And next to that, you've got this tank right here. This is a 45 centimeter tank. It's running with a 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 WRGB light, which is kind of unique in this ADA store, because this store uses like almost everything is ADA, but then this tank is using 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀𝘀 because it is a very popular light. So yeah, the fish look excellent. The 𝗬𝘂𝘀𝑆. You've got 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀𝘀 in there, looking really nice. The foreground right now is Tenellus, Echinodorus tenellus, and then the background is that plant that I seriously have a hard time pronouncing. Over here is a mini tank from 𝗂𝘂. If you move this, you can see the 𝗂𝘂 logo right there. But just very simple, something you can have on your tabletop. Very low maintenance. Just spray the plants once a day, do a water change once a week, and yeah, it's very simple. And right next to this, you've got this over here, the Neo Glass Air. This is a smaller version than the one we saw over there, but this is a smaller one, and it's got an orchid in here, and the orchids are looking beautiful. You can see they're flowering up, and the interesting thing is that they never flowered up until we changed the light. We gave them this light. This is a new product by ADA, or 𝗂𝘂, called the Magnet Light G, and after we changed it to this light, the orchid just started flowering like crazy. Right over here, you've got the System Paluda. Really nice display over here. So you open this up and you can see it's like a mini jungle in here. So it's called a System Paluda, but it's more like a terrarium. Yeah, you can see Monte Carlo as the foreground. We've got Liliopsis brasiliensis in the midground, as well as Cryptocorin lucens. And look at that Bucephalandra right there, looking really nice. And there's also some Anubias nana petite. And look at all these plants. These are beautiful. I'm not going to name them because I seriously don't have a clue what they are called. Feel free to comment down below. I do know that this right there in there is Anubias coffeefolia, but it's being hidden by all the other plants. And yeah, really beautiful. Look at this. Look at the thorns on that. That is quite crazy. Yeah, but really beautiful and natural. I actually really like this. So that is this area. And this area that you just saw is behind the counter, the cash register. Yeah, and up above you've got some display driftwoods. Well, not display, you can actually buy them if you're really interested. Up over there as well. And then on the top over there you've got aquariums, all the different sizes. I really like this area right here because you've got a table, you've got some chairs to sit down, so if you bring your family members you can have a seat, and there's also some books placed here, so if you're bored or you just want to see some pictures of tanks and plants, then you can. There is also a bench there, so if you bring your friend or someone who's not really interested in aquascaping or fish tanks, then they can just sit there and chill. But yeah, let's move on. Over here you've got a 4-foot tank. Really nice rainbow fish tank, and it's a cool scape. I love the 𝗂𝗶𝗿𝗲𝘀𝘀 in this tank. Check that out. Doesn't that look amazing? And if you look from the top you can see how dense the 𝗂𝗶𝗿𝗀𝘀 is. Some of them are even sticking out of the water. And I love how you can see the Nano shrimp from the top of the tank. Look at that. They're right at the surface. That is crazy. And let's take a look at the fish in here. So you've got the 𝗂𝗲𝗀𝘀𝗀𝗀 rainbow fish, looking really good. Love those colors. Dwarf neon rainbow fish. Look at that right there. And then, oh, is that a threadfin rainbow? There's also some threadfin rainbows in here. And the ones that I really like, the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀, but I can't seem to find them right now. Oh, there they are. Look at that right there. Look how beautiful these fish are, and they're really small. But because they're all rainbow fish, they can be housed together, the big and small ones. Isn't that amazing? Looks so peaceful. You can see there's 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀 in here. Some of them are flowering. Anubias nana petite. I like this path that leads you to the back of the tank. And the plants have been trimmed, so they're just only starting to regrow. So once the plants grow, it should cover up the back a little bit more. Right now it looks a little bit empty in the back, but that's no problem. Alright, so that brings us back to the front of the store. And this right here is just a little section for moss. So if you're interested in buying moss, there's a selection over here. Not a huge selection, but this is an aquascaping store, so it's focused on aquatic plants as well as hardscape material. Now, one very cool and interesting fact about this tank is that it was featured in last year's Aquaplant magazine. This is one of Japan's most popular planted aquarium magazines, and it's a yearly magazine, so it comes out once a year, and to be on the cover page of the magazine is, I think, quite incredible. So you can see right there is this right here. Really cool. And of course the tank, the scape has changed a little bit because as time goes by the plants will grow. You'll have to trim them, so it does look a little bit different, but to be on the cover page, I think that is some amazing stuff. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like Squad, be sure to hit that thumbs up button for more videos like this. Not very many stores in my hometown let me film a full tour like this, so I'm really grateful for that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new to this channel for more videos like this, and I will see you guys next time.